Hello, my lovely ones. I'm making this in the kitchen. I'm actually making my breakfast and coffee, um, but I had an idea and I thought if I don't give it to them now, I'll forget it. So forgive me, we're not outside in the beautiful open air, and you've got my funny old kitchen to look at. And you might hear a bit of scrabbling in the background because that is Stanley and Darwin in with me, and also boiling of the coffee, very important. What I was thinking about and what's so important is your why. There's a famous bloke, and I can never remember his name. I think he's called Simon something. And if you know about him, you know about him, and if you don't, you really don't. And he goes around telling all these corporations what their why should be. And it's their motivation. It's why they show up. It's why the company exists. It's why they get out of bed in the morning. And if they know that, his ideas, I think, I may be bastardizing it, I only watched one YouTube video, they can conquer the world. Right, I'm just going to make a noise. Hold on. And that's my bulletproof coffee, which is coffee with butter in it. Rather like you either know that bloke or you don't. You either love the bulletproof coffee or you don't. I really love it. My special. Should we get my Great Gatsby mug? Ta-da! Oh, and so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. One of the best last lines ever. And that's going to be very hot coffee, so... There we are, now I can talk. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I've got to write an article today about writing your life story, about people who want to write their life stories, and apparently it's a really big thing. It's a big group. There's numbers, surveys have been done, and that made me very happy because I work with people who are, well, some of you who are writing about your lives, and I love that, and I think it's so important. I think it's particularly important for women. I think too many of women's stories have been lost over the generations. So I was trying to work out in my head, what do I want to say to this completely new audience? It's a medium I've never written for before. It's a dear friend with a company, and we want to reach out and say to the people, write your story. And I was thinking about all the things that stop you writing your story, and there are so many. And I thought, okay, you need to know why. If you know why, you're going to jump over all those hurdles. You're going to tell all those internal voices that they can go into the next room and have some nice bulletproof coffee and full cash bar and all you can eat buffet and all that. And so what is the why? Not of writing any book, not of writing a novel or the kind of horse books that I write. They have different whys. But this thing of writing your life, which I kind of wish everybody would do, except maybe, I don't know. No, I'm going to offend a demographic now. So I'm not going to say anything about darts players or accountants or dentists in Weston-super-Mare. But that's the thing. If you said, oh, hello, I'm a dentist and I live in Weston-super-Mare, people aren't going to think, oh my goodness, this is going to be absolutely riveting, fascinating. There will be Russian spies and hidden identities and all that kind of stuff. But damn it, I bet you the dentists in Weston-super-Mare would surprise you if they wrote their story down. I bet you they would. So that serves me right for just being cheap. Unfortunately, we can't all be expensive all of the time. I think everyone should write their story. I think every human life has fascination in it and humanity in it and stories that should be remembered. I get in a little bit of a panic now because of the Second World War generation going. that we're going to lose all the stories. The only regret I have about my mother's death, we parted on such good terms. We were really, really good friends by the end. There was nothing to do with our feelings for each other between us that was left unsaid. But man, I wish I'd asked her for one more story. And I'll always regret that. And I know regret is not a useful emotion. And I should let it go, but I do mind. So that's the why. That's why. It's so that your daughters and your nieces and the people to whom you are an honorary auntie and, the ones who, when you are gone, will wish you were still here. It's so that they can take down this book and slowly read. That's why. That's what it's for. It's so you leave a little mark behind. It's so when those people are afraid they're forgetting, they'll be able to pick up the book and say, yes, that's how she was. That's how it was. And you'll also do people like me a huge favour, future me's. I'm just starting a book that is set in 1957 and 1959 with a little dash of 1955. We seem to have quite a lot of 2-year increments. And I'm having to look stuff up. And I wish that somebody who lived on Canvey Island in 1957 had sat down and written their story, because I need to know what it was like. Not the history of it. I need to know what it was like then, before the flood. Or was it after the flood? There was a great flood. I think it was after 57. Anyway, there's your why. So your stories won't be lost, and so that the people who come after you will be able to pick them up and read them and remember and be happy.